Okay, if you've not seen this before, this is plastic mesh that plasterers often use if they're going to go over a cracked wall. This is about 50 metres long, metre wide, and comes in at about £45, give or take. You can get it varying prices at different places and different thicknesses, but this is about the ideal size. Here I've got a bit that I've cut out because if it's going on here. As a lot of you can probably tell, that was a plasterboard wall that hadn't really had anything put on it before the paint or the paper. So there was no real plaster there, so it took quite a while, even with a steam stripper. But other than that, it's been PVA'd, neat cut PVA, let it dry, and we're ready to go, and I'll show you the process. Alright, sorry about the echo, but it's an empty house. Okay, before we fit the old mesh, we get our first coat up on the wall first. There we go. Don't you just love working over the stairs? Yeah, of course you do. Right. I do like the old lean over banister approach. Obviously be careful. Oh, that labourer's got bits in it again. I'll have to fire it for sure. I'm doing this, I've got a couple of bits downstairs to do as well, but I'm just going to be filming this one upstairs. I'll put a bit of half time in this because I need to get back. It's an Ask the Plasterer evening. And we can't be late for that, can we? Oh, I can't anyway. You can. Tonight I'm not going to have any timer on it or anything, I'm just going to get straight in there and see how we get on. Right, so get up a drop of gear. Again, if you've got it at a decent thickness, then you're going to drop an awful lot less than if you have it too thin. As I say, you only really want it thin if your surface is a little bit more porous, you know, if you're going over bonding or something, even if it has been sealed afterwards. Now, thankfully, this banister goes right to the wall, and so there's a separate nib on the other side that can be done separately. Sometimes the railing just goes straight into the wall, and you've got your first banister sticking out, and you've got to go in between. You can see it on camera, in between the banisters to get that bit. But thankfully on this one, that's not the case. Okay. Again, I'm using the old 18-inch ox for laying this on, 5 inches across. It's okay for skimming, laying on that kind of stuff, but if you're going to be bonding or definitely not rendering, then it's far too much weight on the trowel like that, and it won't be long before you start getting issues with your wrists, which of course we don't want. A little set of steps. If you watched it all the way through, you'll see they broke in the last video I was making live on camera, but I didn't fall off, so that's a plus. So that's a plus. plus. Then on the downside, when you're doing kind of all stairs and landing, especially the big wall, I'm sure you've seen my video on that one. It's the way up and down the stairs that gets you in the end. I say gets you, just especially I found when I'm doing that big wall that goes down, I have my bucket or my spot board, whatever, at the top, and then run down as I go and then run back up for the gear, which I don't know if it's easier than having a bucket at the bottom. I think it is. But whatever your preference is. Whatever your preference is. There we go. Lovely. As I say, I've pre-cut my plastic to fit this space, the plastic mesh. So that should, if I stick it in the right place, fit lovely. It's not got to be perfectly right up to the edges, because if you get cracking issues, they're generally central on your bank of plastering that you've done. Well, that'll do. It's not that neat, but it doesn't really have to be. Here's one I prepared earlier. Now, have I got it the right way around? No. There we go. I didn't offer it up after I cut it, so I'm just hoping that it's going to fit. Depends on my tape measure and cutting skills. Oh, hang on, that's not right. Can mess up these things. 38 years I've been plastering. Mind you, I've been using this stuff 38 years. It's not something I would often use. Now I've started using it, you kind of think, well, you know what? I'm going to put some mesh on that wall. What have I done? What have you done here? Oh, I know what you've done. I've cut. How did I manage that? I'll get this right in a minute. That's the bit I should have cut off. Oh, you silly boy. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to stick and cut it again. I've cut it back to front. Easy done, he says. Easy done. Once you've got it on there, it's literally a case of going over it with the trowel and squashing it on. And as you do, the old plaster comes through the top. You can cover it like that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. A bit messy because you're not meant to keep pulling it off and putting it on again. Eric. Okay. So I've cut it wrong. What I need to do is the bit I've cut back to front. I need now to trim that. It's easily trimmed. Here we go. And to save wasting that, there we go. Lovely. I call myself a professional. When adversity strikes, you just gotta get around it. There we go. There we go. You know what, you don't need to do this. What I'm going to do that. Right, now I'm going to lay on the bit I've got downstairs and I'll see you in a second. Right guys, I'm going to put the second coat on here now. I'm going to break with tradition because since I put a second coat on with a speed skim, I quite liked it, so I'm going to give it another try on here. You would normally do quite a tight watered down coat over the top of this, or I would, under normal circumstances. Using my trowel. Today, once again, I'm going to butter up my speed skim, plastic blade, not too much butter. You know what, if this goes wrong, I'll cut this video, just get the video and I'll do it again with your trowel. Dear. Right. Yep, we're on. We're rolling. Right, I've got that up. Ooh. Yeah. Gotta buy a new ladder. Gotta buy a new ladder. That is now officially a death trap. But I haven't had time to pop in the shop and get one. So be careful not to tread on the top round. See, I've got I'll butter this thing up again. In there again. Don't touch the blade because it'll bend, and you want to keep this nice and flat. As I said, this isn't at all traditional. I tried it on my last video, which you've probably already seen, and I was really impressed with how flat the balls came out. And I left them under a metal blade speed skim. I didn't trowel it, apart from around the top. Just a tickle. At the end of the day, if it's a twiddly bit you're doing, it's probably quicker to put a tight second coat on with your trowel. If a non-plasterer can't experiment, who can? And I brought this down a bit because while I was doing downstairs, starting to pick up quite rapid on account of the fact it's got half time in it. Of course, just remember when you water down any plaster that's going off, it's still going to go off its original speed more or less, so you haven't got long to get your second coat on. What's that labour again? Nothing worse than a plasterer's life than a lump. Whether it's a little bit of lumpy plaster, whether it's a stone, or some other kind of aggregate getting into your finish. Right guys, I'm going to leave that for a little while now. I'm going to turn you off, I'll do downstairs, and I'll be back for you in a second. Okay, like a flash, I'm back already. I've laid on downstairs, the second coat, sweating like crazy. But hey, having fun. Having fun. Right, so, here's a wet brush down the edge. That's what's got on the back wall. I'll be very careful if you ever hanging over the stairs. I wouldn't suggest it, just because I'm stupid enough to do it. Well, me and at least a dozen other plasterers I know. But never overreach with something like this. You need to set something up on the steps. Right. A little bit of spray. And the one thing I did realise when I used the speed skin on that other job for doing the second coat and leaving it under the metal blade skin, speed skin, is it all dried a very nice even colour, as you probably saw. And yeah, that's obviously another way of making sure you get a nice even look across your work. Let's be using one of these. This is the metal bladed speed skin. I always get my STs and whatever whatever the letters are that signify one's metal and one's plastic. I can never remember. Again, remember, don't put your fingers on the blade. I probably can't emphasise that enough because it is so easy to do if you're not concentrating. See with the plaster you get on here, because it's at a stage where you could still call this fat, but it's the same colour. So then you fill it in as you do this. You're not going to change the colour of it. Now if you find there's a little bit of, I don't know if you've seen it on the camera or not, but at the top there I've got a little bit of a gap in the corner on the where it meets the ceiling. So you can, using your trusted scraper, take a bit of this off of here to touch it in. Get on the ceiling line. Sorry if you can't see this bit, but use your imagination. There you go. That's it. Take my brush in the bottom because I didn't do that just now. I mean, I've got a 900, one of these, but if you get the 600 as well, then it's great for getting into these smaller bits of wall if you want to leave it under the speed skin finished, as opposed to leaving it under the trowel. Again, it's by no means a traditional thing to do, because the speed skims aren't traditional anyway. A bit more water there. Because the plaster, dryness wise, will get to a point where if you try, even with water on it, unless you're absolutely soaking, which you don't want to do, and you try a plastic blade skim on there, or a speed skim, it'll drag. Metal blade, however, flexible, well, slightly flexible, with water, go over it lovely. Go over it lovely. You can, as I may do, tinker just around the edges with my flexi trowel, just so I can brush those in and give them a little wipe over. But I do now really like the finish. It's not matte and it's not shiny. It's a kind of, I think it's in the sweet spot, to be honest with you. I have to ask a decorator who comes in after me. See what he says. See what he says. Now at this point, what I might do, because I've still got some fat on this flexi trowel, just put that down because it's dry as a bone. It looks like a typical plasterer's trowel. Okay, take some of the fat off of this, just to tickle in those edges. When I've done this part, I shall gently run down the stairs like a crazy man and do it to the other stuff I've laid on. If it looks great at the end, I'll give you a quick look at that when it's finished at the end of this video. Oh, there we go, from the little noggy bits. This should probably still be wet enough at the end to take the metal blade speed skim over it once more with a drop of water. So I'm just going to hit this edge with some of the fat, just make sure we've got a nice hard edge there up against the back wall. Lovely. And across the ceiling. Nope, that's looking very flat and rather sexy, if I do say so myself. there guys, I'm going to pop downstairs and I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm back in the room. I cleaned the edges off from the architrave off camera because that's boring. That's pretty dry to touch now, but still like to give it a bit of a wetting. Again, speed skin metal blade. Here comes the sun. There, beautiful. Right, there you go. I'll show you some close-ups when I finish downstairs, which for you will be in a few seconds, but for me a little bit longer. And yeah, we'll conclude with that. See you in a minute. Okay. There we are. It's not perfect, but we like it. We like it. And then down here. Just got around the door. There. Up to the side of the kitchen door. And piece under the stairs. Right, there you have it. I've got to get home and do Ask the Plasterer. I'll see you soon. Cheers for now. Bye.